Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. In this video, we are going to present about short and medium-term decision making. These are the contents in this video. These are our group members. Aiman, Wan Ikram, Syafini, and Hariz Azwa. There are two decision making problems.
For the first short and medium-term decision-making, we will look at the relevant cost concept. It is common to refer to the information that should be utilized for decision-making as the relevant information, which means that only relevant costs and relevant benefits should be taken into consideration. Relevant costs or revenue are future costs or revenue that will be changed by a decision, and it is also influence the decision to be made. There are three features of relevant cost. First, it affects the future. Second, it differs between alternative. And third, it is cash in nature. Why we should differentiate the relevant cost and irrelevant cost? Because first, by focusing on relevant information can simplify and shorten the data gathering process. And second is to avoid information overload if too much information is presented. There are two types of cost. First is relevant cost and second is irrelevant cost. For the cost to be relevant, it must be from a future cost. And for the costs that have been incurred, that are be considered irrelevant. They do not affect future costs and cannot be changed by any current or future action. Let's look at the example. For the relevant cost, we have incremental cost, which is the cost difference between alternative. Second is avoidable cost, the cost that can be eliminated or saved by not adopting a given alternative. Next, we have opportunity cost, foregone benefit that must be sacrificed when an alternative is selected. And the last is future cash flow, the cash expense that need to be incurred in the future for the result of decision. For the irrelevant cost, we have non-differential cost, which is the cost that have no difference between the alternative. Next is an unavoidable cost, the cost that will not affect by any future decision. Next, we have committed cost, the cost that need to incur in the future but cannot change as the commitment agreed in the past. The second last is the sunk cost, the cost that have been incurred in the past but cannot be changed by the future decision. And lastly is notional cost, hypothetical in nature, which is no actual cash expense is incurred. These are the example question for the relevant cost. This is the suggested solution for the example question. If special order is accepted, which is component 1 to 4, the total relevant cost is amounted to 25,000, which is consists of material resale value amounted at 2,000, additional labor cost 8,000, and contributor loss 15,000. For the material purchase cost is at nil because it is irrelevant cost because it is a sunk cost. It made no difference between alternative. It is also an available cost. For the material resale value, it is relevant cost as it is an opportunity cost. That is revenue loss when this material is used in manufacturing component 1 to 4. For the additional labor cost, relevant cost as it is a future cost and additional cost to be incurred. And lastly, for the contribution loss, it is a relevant cost as it is an opportunity cost, that is contribution loss when the labor is used in manufacturing component 1 to 4.
Next is discontinuing a segment. Discontinuing a segment involves the decision of whether to close down a product line, department, business segments, branches, or department of organization. It also involves to determine whether company should introduce new product or add its business segment. Why discontinuing a segment is due to unprofitable products and running costs become too expensive to support its existence. This is an example regarding the discontinuing a segment. This is a suggested solution for the problem. If drop Kaka, the relevant cost will be net contribution loss from its sale. The formula is sales minus variable cost and will get 8,000. However, the relevant benefit will be the savings that will be made. 1 over 2 times 12,000 ringgit equals to 6,000. Thus, relevant cost of discontinuing exceeds its relevant benefit by 2,000 ringgit, and so this product should continue its operation. Next is qualitative factors for discontinuing a segment. If the company decided to continue, is it the best way to utilize resources? Determining the best way to utilize resources is a complex task that depends on various factors, including the specific context, goals, and available alternatives. There is no universally applicable answer, as what may be considered the best utilization of resources in one situation may not be the same in another. To make informed decisions about resource utilization, it is essential to consider multiple factors such as economic efficiency, environmental sustainability, social impact, and long-term viability. Conducting throughout research, analysis, and evaluation can help in determining the optimal use of resources within a specific context. How reliable are the projected figures such as future demand? Regarding projected figures, such as a future demand, their reliability depends on the quality of the data, the accuracy of forecasting method, and the stability of the underlying factors. While projections and forecasts can provide valuable insights, they are inherently uncertain due to the complexity of the world and unforeseen events. Next, if the company decided to shut down or discontinue the product, what about the redundant employees? Some customers may be frustrated. Will there be any effect on customer goodwill? If a company decides to shut down or discontinue its operations, the fate of redundant employees will depend on the specific circumstances and actions taken by the company. First is job placement services. The company might offer assistance to redundant employees in finding new employment opportunities. This can include job placement services, resume writing support, interview coaching, or networking resources. Second one is internal redeployment. In some cases, the company may have other divisions, departments, or roles where redundant employees could be transferred. Internal deployment allows the company to utilize the skills and expertise of employees within the organization, potentially avoiding layoffs. If a company decides to shut down, the impact on customer goodwill can vary dependent on several factors. Customer goodwill refers to the intangible value and positive reputation a company has built with its customers over time. Here are some possible outcomes. Number one is loss of trust. Customers may feel disappointed and lost trust in the company. The sudden closure could leave them with unfulfilled expectations, especially if they had ongoing commitments, warranties, or service agreements with the company. The second one is negative perception. The closure might lead customers to perceive the company in a negative light. They may question the company's stability, reliability, and ability to fulfill its promises. The negative perception can affect future business opportunities for the company or any potential rebranding efforts. The characteristics of discontinuing a segment is unprofitable products and running costs become too expensive to support its existence.
Next is make or buy decisions. It involves decisions whether product, component, or service should be manufactured internally or pay another organization to do it. Benefit of manufacturing internally is to have more control by management over work and less worry of supplies not delivered on time. In contrast, buying outside includes more flexibility to meet the demand, overcome production bottleneck, and limiting factor. Make or buy decision exists in two situations. Situation first, where there is spare capacity, and situation two, where there is full capacity. Spare capacity. In spare capacity, relevant cost comparison is between the variable cost of manufacturing and purchase price from outsiders. And for full capacity, in full capacity, some existing production may have to be displaced, hence will lead to loss on contribution, in which the relevant cost should include the opportunity cost involved like loss contribution. And this is the example question for make or buy decisions. Then this is the suggested solution for the example question. First, we must calculate relevant cost of making. It consists of variable cost of manufacturing plus any other incremental cost and plus opportunity cost if any. Variable cost of manufacturing consists of material 3,000 ringgit plus labor 1,000 ringgit and plus variable overhead 500 ringgit and plus with opportunity cost which is 5,000 ringgit, and the total for relevant cost of making is 9,500 ringgit. And for the next step is to calculate the relevant cost of buying. It consists of purchase price from outsiders plus any purchasing cost. Purchase price is 5,000 ringgit plus transport price 500 ringgit, and the total cost of buying is 5,500 ringgit. Here the rule is to choose the lower of the cost, hence it is better to buy rather than make. Then when we make the decisions, we must consider the qualitative factors. First is quality of the externally supplied components, and second is time, will it be delivered on time? And third is loyalty, customers' loyalty may be lost for the regular sales foregone in full capacity.